Do you know what the lesson was?
The lesson was don't chase after beer. I was telling my friend about this yesterday. She's like, "Why did you keep going?" I was like, I don't know. I thought like, I didn't think we would fall again. And but then the on the way coming back after the second fall, we kept going, right. Not that long after, I hear this dog, but he's far away, right? And then I just hear the bark get louder, 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 and then this dog is right on our ass, like near my leg. And I'm like, and he didn't stop, right? Normally they'll chase a little bit and eventually they'll just wear off. He didn't. I was like, oh my God. And then he starts like accelerating. I was like, no, please. I was like, I was like, there's no way I'm going to fall here again.
With
and
the
then
dog.
get eaten by a dog. And it was so funny, like coming back, we were sharing our experiences, like telling them like the dog, the mosquito, this, that,
like
the
liars.
rocks. And then their experience was totally different than ours. They were there enjoying the
chilling.
sunset. They had sex, like they had an amazing time. And we just went through like a disaster. It was so funny, and then coming together, it was like,
opposite.
we're here together, but we had completely different stories, And then, sure enough, the next morning, the sunrise was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
You
it better
were rewarded?
happen, right? After all of that. So we were watching, and I'm trying to be optimistic. And I'm like, babe, look, like the sunrise looks beautiful. And then he's like, yeah, but it would have been beautiful anywhere. It was a shit show.
And this is Talking to Tulum with Gigi Da Silva, the most common name in Brazil. Gigi Da Silva. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Say your real name.
I can't say it in the cameras. Let's do it.
So, Gigi,
Yeah.
tell us, how did you get to Tulum?
Well, my journey began in COVID, actually. Like so many of the people that ended up here that are not here today, I think COVID babies.
We're COVID babies.
Right. It was just kind of like, I don't know. It happened a little bit unexpectedly, I would say. Like I was living in California at the time, and I was just kind of like, I was just over like living in the U.S. It's kind of like I just need to get out of here, But my plan was I was gonna move back to Brazil, like let's just take a little break from here and just go back to your mother country, and like start again there. And then I had been to Tulum though. The first time I came to Tulum was like 2016, I think it was. And then I had some friends coming to Tulum for a weekend, for like a short weekend. This was March 2021. And I was just like, like fed up with like being, I was in New York at this time, and I was like kind of like tired of like being indoors, and I was with my family, but you couldn't really do anything. And I was just boredom, right? Just boredom. I was like, I need to be out, I need to do something. And my friends were like, oh, we're going to Tulum for this weekend, It's like, come with us. Like, we have a villa. Like, just get your flight. And I was like, man, yeah. I was like, I need to get out a little bit. I was like, I feel too, like, locked in, And then, sure enough, we came, whatever, had a blast. And it, like, revived the years that I had here when I first came back in 2016, right? And I was just like having great experiences, like hanging out with them, like eating, like the chef experience, the nice villa, like all of that.
Tulum was Tuluming.
Yeah, and then the beaches, and I'm just like sitting here, and I'm like thinking like, I'm looking for a tropical place. I'm looking for a place that has a beautiful beach. I'm looking for a place that people are warm, that the food is good. It makes sense if maybe I were to just kind of hang around here, and maybe not go to Brazil because, my family, they're in New York. And I thought it makes more sense. In my mind, I'm thinking like, it makes sense. I'm closer to New York from Tulum. Short flight, less expensive.
It's logical.
I was like, it just makes sense, I was like, I can go to Brazil another time, like this could be like, my way there, like my little pit stop, if you will. So then I was like, all right, I'm gonna move to Tulum. I was like, I'm gonna give myself, like kind of like you gotta have a map out a somewhat of a plan, right? give myself like a 3-month span, and let's see what I can work with, like what I could do here. You know, I didn't have like a remote job, you know, like many of us. Like I feel like so many people come here and they're like, yeah, I really want to stay, but I don't know what to do. And I totally feel that because, you know, I had that too, but I was like, I'm going to figure it out. Like I really like it here. I'm going to figure it out and see how I also feel those 3 months that I'm here and how I can get around and how I can figure things out and make friends and, you know, everything, right? And sure enough, so I went back, well, so then that trip ended up getting extended because we missed our flight more than once.
Yeah. So did you miss your flight? Did you just, we're not even going to wake up.
Like, well, and on that one.
Guess we get in the cab or we could just stay here for a couple extra days.
It's so
Is
funny.
that missing your flight? Is that what you call that? Missing your flight?
Yeah, I mean,
Did you miss your flight?
It was an accident, but it was a good one. It was meant to be that way so that, you know, all of those things would happen, right? But anyways, that 4-day trip ended up being a 10-day trip.
Nice.
So so that was really nice. I went back and then gave myself a little like wiggle room to like kind of organize and like put myself together. And then came back in October and I was like, perfect, I'll be here like through the rest of the year to the holidays. And then, you know, then that will be like my mini, you know, experience of how living here would make me feel. Mm-hmm. And then sure enough, 2 weeks go by and I'm just like, my love is just growing. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, I have got to make this work because there's no way I can leave here. Like I can't leave this place. Like it was like, I don't know, like it was like I was addicted to it. I was like, I can't leave here no matter what, you know. And I was instantly creating these amazing friendships like right away, you know, that were really amazing, that we're still friends now, you know. And just like waking up feeling great, you know, and like driving down the street or riding your bicycle and like ear to ear smile and just like super happy. Everyone's so nice. Where I was like, this is exactly what my soul was searching for, you know? It was like, it was a very strong feeling, like internally, you know? Like I felt like, wow, I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. When you just feel alive, like that
it's
spark
just like,
is back.
Exactly. Like the piece of the puzzle, it just like clicked. It just, you know, just went well, so well together. And then I was like, I gotta do whatever I say, because I'll like do whatever, you know, like.
How did you do it? Because you said you didn't have a remote job.
Yeah. So then.
And so you came here you left a job to come here or had no job?
Yeah.
Which a lot of people talk about that, but I mean, like I had my company. So what was your process to, obviously we know you have Tulum Dinner Club now.
Yeah.
But how did you get from coming here with book us?
Well, so I was kind of like doing rental arbitrage at the time and like digging into that. And
in
I
the
was like,
States or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, I could try and do that here. It seems like, you know, and at that time it was popping, right? Everybody was here. And I was like, oh, so I started looking for apartments. I found a bunch of apartments. I was like, I'm going to rent these apartments and sublease them and then rent them on Airbnb, right? Which is what I did. So I got several properties here and then I started renting them out. And then I was like, okay, this is working, right? It's going really well. And then I did that for some time until, you know, the whole Tulum things,
softened
experiences, you know. No, the everything going wrong with the like your plumbing issues, leaking,
the lessons
that.
of Tulum.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is so much work, you know, like much more than you like expect. And then just people, like guests, you know, tourists who come here and they just expect life here to be like it is in the US, you know? It's like, oh, you don't have power? Like, no, like that's normal. I mean, yeah, it sounds crazy,
power
but
went off.
you know, like you should know these things. I feel like if you're like traveling to a new country, new place, like, you know, kind of learn a little bit of like what to expect, you know, like don't think you're going to get like, you know, rolled out the red carpet and like have everything like, you know, in the snap of a finger. Like Tulum is not your place.
Or Mexico in general. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, ahorita, like to be fair, I mean, I had
Same.
been coming here for years. You sort of learn that Mexico has a different pace. I mean, I think most of the world are somewhat aware that Mexico has a more generally slower pace. It's part of their lifestyle. It's part of their culture.
Absolutely.
And to be fair, I once you get used to it, I actually prefer it.
Yeah.
When you're having the moment, I really do. I really do. Because I do feel like now, 4 years after not being in the States, the go, like I really, if I'm standing in a line at OXXO, my ability to deal with that today is a million times different than it was 5 years ago.
And that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Part of why
Slow
I
down.
felt like that hug, when I got here was because it was like I could just relax,
You can just breathe.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta lose one to have the other. I feel like you can't imagine everything working perfectly and you like having this amazing feeling all the time. Like it wouldn't even go together, you know.
I do like the lessons. Once you get through the kick in the pants of the lessons that are for us, they're fun.
Yeah.
They happen fast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Faster than they would happen other ways. And to be fair, if you're going to get a lesson, don't you want it quick?
Right. I agree.
Things do happen.
I do. I don't need a long
get out of the way rather than drag it out.
No,
right
just
now.
tell me. I mean, and y'all
yeah.
were being screamed at last
Yeah.
a couple nights ago. They were talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all's lessons were, but they were talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long did the rental arbitrage until was the next thing Tulum Dinner?
Yeah, no. So I did that for like, I don't know, I think like a year and a half or something
Rental
like
arbitrage.
that. Yeah, and then it was just like Tulum also at that time. Shortly after that, it like, the world opened up. People started going other places. A lot of people were leaving Tulum, and that's kind of when people started just exiting.
happened,
And then the beginning of that shift, right? So then I was like, okay, like I'm exiting this, whatever. And then, bless you.
Gracias.
But so for Tulum Dinner Club, I don't know that you know it, but I didn't actually start Tulum Dinner Club.
I did not know that.
You didn't know?
No.
Yeah. I took it over. What year was that? That was summer of 2022. So Tulum Dinner Club actually started early 2022. And then I think it was June, maybe July.
Who started it?
So there were these two people that were living in Tulum at the time, kind of like expats to like working remote. I don't know them that well, to be honest. And then one night, a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I found this group, like it's called Tulum Dinner Club. It's a really cool concept. People just go meet up in different restaurants around town. Easy, you mingle, you pay for your own food, and it's just a nice way of like meeting people, right?" And at that time, I had been here for a few months, right? And then I was like, "Oh, that's cool," but I was never really like, "Oh yeah, I want to go."
Right.
I was just like, "Oh, that's a really cool concept. I love that idea," And then one night she was like, "Oh, we're gonna be here at Negro Villa Coche. Like if you want to come by." But back
I was trying to say the other day. I can never say that. No.
Say that again, please. Say it several
Negro
times.
Villa Coche. Widla.
Okay.
Negro with la coche.
Yeah,
With la.
pretty good, yeah. So, but back then, I don't know if you remember how it was back then. It was like a little like alleyway almost. It was so small. They expanded it just over like a year or so.
This is
No,
what she
I've
was
not
describing. I'm like, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound anything
She was
familiar
just,
to
and
me.
I was like, no, it's the same place.
Same
And I was like, with the
location.
big thing at the back,
Courtyard
she's like, no,
location.
different
That
place.
whole-
I
I
was
don't
like,
remember
same
courtyard.
No. Just
So
that when
okay.
you first enter, it
Yes.
was just that.
Just a tiny little
it was
thing,
just
exactly.
that with like, and they had many
Yeah, that
restaurants
makes
there, so
sense.
each window
Correct.
was a different restaurant. So it wasn't even that whole area, but they shared the seating area. Just
Okay,
FYI,
okay,
and then
okay.
they expanded to the whole
Exactly,
other
there
side,
was. You had
which
the
is
little door there,
amazing
the little
now.
window there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so then I was driving home that night, and I just happened to drive right in front of the place, and it was Thursday, and I had no intention of going in, honestly, and I was just going home, and I was like, you know what, I have nothing to do at home, like I'm gonna just be bored anyway. It's like, let me just like pop in, and my intention, I think, was like I was just gonna look and
Like,
not really
scout it
go,
out.
I was like kind of peek from the outside. So I did. There was like, I don't know, maybe like 8 to 10 people there, maybe, and everybody was really nice, like, so I went in and like ended up talking. It's like, this is really cool. And I met one of the organizers at the time, and never seen her before, right? That was the first time meeting. We ended up chatting for a little bit, like back and forth, and she was like, "Hey, I'm going away for a month to the States. Do you want to run this while I'm gone?"
As you're popping in.
And I'm like, I'm a little stunned, right? Because I'm like, never met her or anyone else here other than my friend that was there, you know. So, and it was kind of a big thing to ask like a stranger, right? I was like, that's kind of strange. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, you know. It's like, I don't want more responsibilities in my mind. I'm thinking, right? Like I already had the other stuff that I was doing. And then I'm kind of like nodding to my friend. And I'm like, oh, like, you know, you want to do it? And she's like, oh, like, I'll help you. I was like, okay, like just like a month, four meetups. I was like, not that big a deal. I guess I could figure it out, right? We can do it. I was like, okay, sure. So then I did it. So that was funny because that was like my in to Tulum Dinner Club. I came in as anyone that does now. So it's cool because I have it from that point of view. You have that
experience.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that like, oh, I'm not like the creator of it. I attended just like anybody else. So I like that about it. But anyways, I kept going. And then sure enough, like 1 month goes by and whatever. And we were in touch here and there. And she was like, listen, I got a job and like I won't be making it back. And then she said something like, do what you like. If you want to keep running it, like go ahead, like feel free to. But I don't know like what's happening here with me, you know? And I was like, oh man. And it kind of hit me, you know, because I was like, at that point I really, really enjoyed it. You know, I was like, I had been going to, you know, obviously all those meetups. And I was like, I was thinking like, what if I just stopped? And I also felt like it was all on me at this point, right? Like if I stopped, then it's me that ended it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, man, so I was like, I can't do that. I was like, people like it too much and I like it too much. I was like, I got to keep it going. So that's what happened.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's so meant to be. Like just handed to you. And that you are just not even going to go in and just be like, have a little look.
The way we handle it.
You were meant to go past that.
The way I handle it most times, I'm going to pop
That's what I mean. Like just the way that whole thing worked, like happened, was very strange to me. You know, the fact that I didn't even know her. And she could have asked anybody else. Yeah. Like, why me? Like, just the first time, you know?
Because you were the one that was supposed to take the torch.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
Tulum lessons.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's wild. That's a very cool story.
Right. Yeah. And then I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I can add some, like, I wanted to make it more like me, right? In at this point, you know? I was like, I want to add more things or maybe do more things that, you know, they weren't doing at the time, you know, and like just, okay, like let's expand it to like all sorts of people that want different things too, you know, like let's not keep it just to these certain places. Like let's go, you know.
Tulum Dinner Club was one of the first things that I'd heard of when I moved here. And that was just like from going on Facebook and doing, like figuring out what's around me. And that is, I remember being one of the first ones that I read. And then it kept on coming up. And that's actually where me and Stacey met, was at Tulum Dinner Club.
Yes.
Because I did the thing, like we were saying earlier, where you join the WhatsApp group and then you're like, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. And then I was like, just go. Like there's going to be other people there who don't know anyone and like whatever. Yeah. And I went to one that you did at Mot at Cannes, actually. Yes. That's how we became friends. Yeah. So yeah, it does. It just happen. You just got to show up, and then you never know what's going to come towards you. You could be given like a potential career. You could be given a friendship. You could just have a great time and have some nice food and see where. Because I would never have known that them restaurants were there either, being brand new. So I'm like, I get to meet people. I get to see what's around. Like I get to have some experiences.
And just like what you said, you know, you don't know it until you try it. And I like that I got to experience that because when I hear this a lot, people tell me like, oh, I felt like you know, I'm a little shy or like nervous or whatever. And I'm like, I was there, you know, like I was one of the people who didn't want to go, you know, so I totally get it, you know. But I was like, everyone's just so nice when you go and so open. But the other thing is, what you just mentioned is the one thing I hear the absolute most is I never knew this place existed. Yeah. I mean, can you blame him, right? Tulum, everything's kind of hidden behind the bush.
We were saying this driving around yesterday. We were like, you would have no idea that half of the things that are here because they're down random roads. Unless you're just driving like we were.
Correct.
Yeah, just driving around. And I was like, I never knew that was there.
Yeah.
Definitely Tulum Dinner Club makes Tulum better. There's no question. You absolutely fit into the frame of the people we, you know, want to highlight.
Yeah. Honestly, I get like emotional because people are like,
we're gonna make 2 people cry today.
People are like, everyone's gonna cry
today. Come on the show and you're going to cry. That's good. good. That's good.
Because people they come to me and they're like, I had no friends when I came here, and I was looking for a community, and I'm here alone, and I don't have a partner, or I didn't have any friends, and it's really broaden that in my life, the friendships, the people, the networking, the things, the adventures,
No question it's done that for me. I can tell you it's done that for me. Yeah. I can honestly say that almost every single time I've met somebody that I ended up networking with, it's a big...
And it's not difficult to go to these things either. Tulum is a small place. It's not I guess we were saying this as well, if you do it in another, in a big city, you got to drive across the other side of the city. It might be taking you I don't know, longer time. There's so much here that you're opening the doors for people like me and Stacey and whoever else is watching
and the business
to be able
owners.
to access.
Absolutely, yeah. And the idea is to my thought is to have everything as simple as possible for the people to join you, right? That's why I cater to okay, let's do separate checks. It's a pain in the ass for the restaurants. I feel bad for them. We're bringing them business, so they're happy about that. So you got to take some and leave some. But for the people who are attending, I just want to make it just casual. Hey, we don't all sit and eat at the same time. We don't got to wait for each other. Order what you want. Order just a drink, even if you don't want to order food. You can afford it or whatever. Dress however you want. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Bring whatever age you are. Your kid. Kids have come. Bring your dog. Who cares? Bring your grandma.
Yeah. No, you made it a tremendously open environment because I think there's more opportunity too.
Oh yeah,
I do.
I have so many ideas every day, but it's just trying to do everything at once. It's so many things,
the business
and it never ends. It never ends.
Better.
I love it, and it's amazing too that this was passed on to me because I'm such a foodie. It was I'm
so
the
cool.
perfect person, I love to explore. The mingle and the community side of it is amazing. I love that, But for me, the food and the exploring the actual restaurants too, and trying everything from anything, right? For ice cream, smoothie, for, this different dishes, cuisines, desserts, literally anything you can chew and eat and drink,
I'm not gonna lie, that was a bonus when it was dinner club, because I'm the same. I'm food, I'm there.
I'm a tourist.
You base this around me eating? This is the best idea ever.
Yeah. So, so it's just it just went well, very well together, just everything, how it happened. So I feel very grateful too. And I actually made a lot of my friendships too from Dinner Club too. So so,
you've opened a portal. It's a portal. I mean,
for real.
Cool.
For real.
Yeah. But I love that about Tulum because Tulum.
I mean, Tulum's going to make people that are going to meet people.
Yeah.
They're going to meet the person
Right.
and the people they're supposed to meet. But I do think that Tulum Dinner Club is one of the portals that the people I'm pretty sure we were supposed to meet. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to meet you.
Course.
I'm pretty sure I was supposed to meet him. But I can tell you what, Tulum Dinner Club was the portal for all three of these introductions.
Yeah.
So I would use that word. And I would imagine if we're just 4 people right here, multiply
How
that by
many others
your realm and the reach of what you're doing definitely qualifies as people that are making Tulum better. And like we said, it isn't just for us that are coming. I hope that it's done really good things for the restaurants, be it exposure, publicity, a good night in the middle of dead season, and they get 46 people on a night when they weren't going to see one. You know, I mean, that could be making their month on that one night in slow season at times. I imagine.
Yeah, no, they really. I'm very grateful for them too. They're great. They're amazing. They always very welcoming. They invite us back.
Have you had anybody say no to you?
Yes, I would say some people have said no in the sense that some people just don't answer.
Okay.
So there's been a few no answers back. You know, and then a couple of times was the separate check stuff. Come whenever you want. You don't have to be there on time. I would just ask that you do sign up, because especially in the high season. Hello.
I'm sorry. Do you know me?
Guilty.
Have you met me?
Depending on the season too, whatever.
Just putting my name on that list makes me so vulnerable.
I hear you, The list is a thing.
I'm telling you, the list is a thing.
I try to alter the way you sign up. I don't know if you noticed that, I think it was a few months ago, to make it just easier so people are not getting flooded with the texts. I'm there's got to be an easier way. And I tried a couple different apps, and some of them didn't show the list, and people were like, I don't feel comfortable. I don't know.
What do you want to tell the people?
I want to tell the people to just don't be afraid. Just come.
So what is your vision for the future for Tulum? How do you see Dinner Club, yourself, what you'd like to see for Tulum?
Yeah, wow, like I envision Tulum really like skyrocketing, you know? I think it's going to take a little bit of time. As for Tulum Dinner Club, we're going to keep expanding, growing, doing cool events. I love mixing things with like, I mean, it always has to involve food or some sort of something you're going to drink or something, you know? But I love doing like activities. Like I think that opens up people even more so, right? Because when you're shy, hey, let's do something instead of
Encourages you to
you know,
interact.
you're not saying no and you're just like asking questions, you're
Camaraderie,
talking.
team building, vibing,
Yeah, like
just getting to know
moving,
another side of people.
action, yeah,
Yes.
some like workshops, like things like
Please.
that. So I'm very open to that. I love that. I love
love
any
that idea.
ideas. I love people contacting me with ideas and what we can do, how we can work together. You know, like I love that. I'm open for.
Can we have charades night?
I'm open for yes. We can do games. We can do anything. I'm open for whatever, and I love that about it. And I think people really enjoy that too.
Yeah.
Because it gives everyone something. You know, like you may not like games, but you may come for another night. You know, maybe it's like paint night. You know.
Well, like you said, just stimulates a different conversation besides just sitting with someone eating. To really, like you kind of see a different side of people's personality.
When you're sitting, you know,
I agree.
I'm like that.
It
Like,
takes the
that's
pressure off
correct.
if you're able
Yes.
to do something like when people say when you're
Exactly.
walking and talking, when you're painting and
Right.
talking, if you're whatever it is,
Exactly.
like it's not so
you're distracted
intense.
by something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love that. I'm that way. So I feel like, okay, I want to do more of that. Just overall like really cool like culinary stuff too. You know, just like let's always level up. You know, let's always do something different. Let's always, mix it up, like shake it up. Collaborations,
Beautiful.
like whatever. Like just the door is wide open. Like really,
2026, baby.
bring it on. Next week we're doing naked sushi. You know, this is like something that I came across like years ago in like on TV show or something like that, and I was, oh my god, that's so cool. And now when the chef he brought this up, this experience that he's doing, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect for Tulum.
And this is Talking to Tulum.
Wake up! Hello? Are you there? We should do a video about this. This is kind of funny. Like not for you, but just for the podcast. Like after sitting for so long, like how I breathe.
Crowd, I was like, oh, my body was really being held up by the crowd.